For as long as civilization has existed, man has contemplated the concept of time. As E&O looks to elevate life at every address, it's essential to imagine the future of human living. Cities undergoing vast urbanizations often find themselves sprawling outwards, resulting in traffic congestion and transport overcrowding. All real challenges for city planners and commuters alike.
In the past few decades, we have been seeing car as a solution to a lot of things. And I think our cities are now designed on cars. So highways become the dominant paradigm. And with highways and things like that, our city becomes a lot more polluted, a lot more less walkable, and also our city become very fast. When you have a fast city, it means that social relationship decline because people are just moving. They are no longer interacting, they are no longer talking.
Improving the quality of life in dense metropolitan settings requires constant reinvention. Now, support for a new urban model called the 15-minute city is gaining ground.
So when we talk about 15-minute city, it's always pedestrian-centric, meaning to say you have the place you work, the place you live, the place you play, all within 15 minutes of walkable distance. And to encourage people to walk, we need to supplement this pedestrian connectivity with infrastructures, with comfort, with safety as well. Casual surveillance is where we put active frontages. I'm talking about lobbies, entrances, shops, F&B along these pedestrian connections. So when you walk along these facilities, you are part of the community and the community is watching over you. So you always feel safe. There is never a dark street that you have to walk on.
In this day and age, our lifestyles and interests are so incredibly vast. How does one choose the right 15-minute city for themselves?
So when I decided to move my business back from my little bedroom operation in Melbourne back to Malaysia, I needed to select a neighborhood where I would have my first ever office, along with eventually a retail offline footprint. The 15-minute vicinity city of Bangsar and Damansara Heights is perfect. There's enough sort of like your urban developments, like high rises. We have enough accounting and legal services around us to support the business, as well as for my personal life, my home life, and social life. I was at that time dating my now husband, and we were married for a good 4 years before I have my now 2 kids. And what's been really amazing over the last 10 years actually is how the neighborhood has really accommodated and been thriving for me, I would say, with my life chapters. From, I guess, nightlife and food options, lots of chefs and chef-owned restaurants where there's a huge emphasis on quality, and along with my kids, like being able to send them to a local kindergarten in the area. And I specifically actually really love supporting independent brands. There are an abundance of choice when it comes to local brands.
In mature cities, transit-oriented developments help connect and create vibrant, livable, and sustainable communities. These developments can play an important role in actualizing the 15-minute city concept. The award-winning Conley is an example of this. The Lake Carey Hills architectural landmark in the heart of Kuala Lumpur connects citizens to an array of dining options, world-renowned shopping, international standard healthcare, education, arts and culture, and a dynamic financial district via its direct access above MRT and LRT stations. At Conley by E&O, your connections are literally at your doorstep.
Connection is not only for people, but I think connection is also for wildlife. Our cities are almost becoming like a desert. Everything is non-living, it's just hardscape. We are trying to reverse that by providing an oasis. And when you go into oasis, everything is living. Everything becomes very productive. Rewilding the city is a growing trend. It's about biophilia. It is about trying to get urban folks like us to live a bit more harmoniously with nature. A slow city is what we are really aiming for in the future. So slowing things down is important, and this little Kebun here is trying to maybe address some of this, whether developing urban parks like this will help to lessen or encourage people to be less dependent on cars. My answer is definitely yes.
The Peak, a residential enclave in Kuala Lumpur, exemplifies the philosophy of living in a greener society. An aspirational address for many, the 54-unit low-rise luxury development follows the natural curves and slopes of the landscape, spread across 3.9 acres of verdant landscaping. It will soon be a collection of KL's finest homes. A mere 15 minutes from the city center, the Peak is connected by a network of thoroughfares to the neighborhoods of Bangsar, Sri Hatamas, Mount Kiara, and more.
It's very important for developers in cities to embrace a green idea of providing a lot of resources, open spaces to its inhabitants that they are actually selling to. The greener they get, I hope the more successful they are as developers. There's many cases of developers which I'm very happy that when they provide a lot more facilities of parks, open space, recreational grounds for its inhabitants, they keep pockets of, let's say, forests. Let the natural stream be exposed.
Avira Madini's landed residences, the developers maintain the natural flow of waterscapes and contours of the land to keep residents connected with nature. The development features a clubhouse at its heart, which serves as a hub of communal spaces dedicated to wellness offerings and social gatherings. The idea of green living is a cornerstone of the 15-minute city concept and is keenly advocated on ENO's Andaman Island. Unique in its conception, with green living and community building at the heart of every neighborhood, every inch of Andaman has been painstakingly planned to incorporate parks, active travel, and public third spaces.
In Andaman Island, there's great walking facilities around the island. At the same time, there's provision for EV buses and water taxi as well. To encourage people to walk, we have a theme connectivity, or there's like waterfront route from the canal side, quayside, promenade to the shoreline area. We supplement that with urban furnitures along the route, communal spaces where you can sit down with your friends, you can bump into your neighbors, have a chat. That creates a more robust community living.
Communing with society, I think, is very important for urban folks, especially our children. This little garden here that we are trying to develop is all about that. It is about trying to bring community back together through a simple act of gardening. So we can involve young people, young children, all the way up to old people. We can bring different nationalities together. We can bring different neighbors together.
When it comes to diversity, the residents of Sri Tanjung Pinang, opposite the ENO's upcoming Andaman Island, boast an international community of 30 different nationalities, ranging from first-time homebuyers to seasoned property investors, all seeking to live a modern lifestyle at a relaxed pace. The Meg, ENO's maiden launch on the Andaman, will be one such property. The development embodies the concept of the 15-minute city with communal spaces to blend work and play seamlessly. One never really has to want more beyond Andaman, but if they so choose, its location to other equally robust 15-minute cities such as Gurney Wharf is merely a stone's throw away. A lifetime in the making, Andaman Island has been designed for future generations to live and thrive.
Pandemic has truly changed how all of us view our lives, be it your home life or your work life. I see a huge shift and a lot more emphasis in people spending a lot more time relating to where they live. We can all get a little lost sometimes. If I'm having a really frazzled week, I would actually wake up extra early, pack my kids up into the car and drive 10 minutes to the Lake Gardens, have the kids run around, reconnect with nature. For me, making that decision to set up my office and my home life in Bangsar and Damansara Heights has been really, really crucial because, if I had more hours in a day, I would spend it more with my kids, quality time with my friends, date night with my husband. I think in the world that is so busy, telling us all the time how to get things done, I think perhaps the most important thing is to reconnect with your inner self and ask yourself why you're here and why you're doing what you're doing in your everyday lives.
It is heartwarming to see more developers are embracing green philosophies in their products now. I think this is very important for the sustainability of the master plan for future generations.
This garden is built on hope. We hope that the leadership of this little garden will be taken up by the young people and also by the underserved groups. We are trying to build a city that we will be very, very proud of, and our children and our grandchildren will have a much, much better environment.
As we strive for better work-life balance, it is worth examining or choosing our home in 15-minute cities that encourage less time spent on roads and more opportunities to connect with ourselves and our communities, to live our lives to the fullest.